Today we're diving into something that almost every entrepreneur and business owner struggles with, and that's how to balance the demands of building a business while still showing up for your personal life, your partner, your family, or even if you have carer responsibilities like caring for an elderly parent or a child. And here's the promise of this video. By the end, you'll walk away with 3 clear, practical action steps you can implement immediately to create more balance without sacrificing the growth of your business. Because, let's be honest, balance often feels like a myth. You've probably heard phrases like hustle harder, sleep when you're dead, or go all in. And while those ideas might help in short bursts, they're not sustainable when you're also trying to be a present parent, a supportive partner, or a reliable caregiver. So the real question becomes, how do you build something meaningful without losing the people and life that make it meaningful? Let's start by reframing what balance actually means. I've come to realize balance isn't about splitting your time evenly between business and life. That's a little unrealistic. Instead, balance is about alignment, making sure your time, energy, and attention reflect what truly matters in each season of your life. There's a powerful idea from productivity researcher Cal Newport, who said, you don't need more time, you need fewer things that matter more. That's the first shift. Because most entrepreneurs aren't overwhelmed by work alone, they're overwhelmed by competing priorities that all feel urgent. I know I have definitely felt like this at times, how to be everything to everyone else whilst keeping my sanity. Now, layer on family responsibilities, kids, or caring for an aging parent, and suddenly your capacity is stretched even thinner. Research backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that role conflict when work and family demands collide is one of the biggest predictors of burnout amongst business owners and professionals. And burnout isn't just about feeling tired, it affects your decision making, your creativity, your patience, and ultimately your business performance. So if you're trying to push through imbalance and finding yourself burnt out, then maybe it's time to take an alternative view. Let's talk about what successful entrepreneurs have been noted to do differently. They don't aim for perfect balance, they design their lives intentionally. Take Arianna Huffington, who after collapsing from exhaustion became a vocal advocate for redefining success. She said, we think mistakenly that success is a result of the amount of time we put in at work, instead of the quality of time we put in. That distinction is everything. Because working longer doesn't necessarily mean working better, and when you're also managing family or caregiving responsibilities, efficiency becomes your greatest asset. Another important perspective comes from Greg McKeown, author of Essentialism. He emphasizes the idea of less but better. He argues that if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. And for entrepreneurs, that someone else is usually your business, your inbox, your clients, your deadlines. So they will take everything you're willing to give and more. So creating balance isn't about reacting better. It's about designing boundaries before the chaos begins. Now, let's talk about something that often goes unspoken: guilt. The pangs of guilt that you feel with your family or caregiving. Responsibilities because you can feel like you're failing somewhere all the time. When you're working, you feel like you should be at home. When you're at home, your mind is still at work. This is what researchers call cognitive spillover, when stress and attention from one role bleed into another, and it's one of the biggest reasons people feel constantly on, even when they're technically off. The solution isn't to eliminate responsibility, it's to create clearer transitions. For example, some high-performing founders use deliberate shutdown rituals at the end of their workday. This idea, again popularized by Cal Newport, involves consciously closing out your work, reviewing tasks, planning the next day, and mentally disengaging. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful because your brain needs signals. Without them, it stays in work mode indefinitely. Now, let's address a more complex reality: caring for an elderly parent or a partner or even a child while running a business. This adds a completely different emotional and logistical layer. Unlike business problems, caregiving doesn't follow predictable systems. It's reactive, it's personal, and often it's really heavy. Research from the National Alliance for Caregiving shows that caregivers who also work are significantly more likely to experience chronic stress. So, if that's you, understand this. Your struggle isn't a personal failure, it's a structural challenge, and it requires structural solutions. This might mean building more flexibility into your business model, or delegating more, or even redefining what growth looks like during this season. Because here's a truth that many entrepreneurs resist: not every season is meant for maximum growth. Some seasons are about stability, some are about preservation, and some are about showing up where you're needed most. As author and business thinker Simon Sinek puts it, working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. But even passion needs boundaries, otherwise it becomes exhaustion in disguise. So, how do you actually create balance in a practical, real-world way? Let's break it down into something actionable. Here are 3 steps you can start implementing immediately. Step 1. Define your non-negotiables. These are the parts of your life that you refuse to sacrifice. It could be dinner with your family, weekly time with your parents, being present for school events. The key is to schedule these first, not last. Too many entrepreneurs treat personal life as leftover time. But if you don't protect it, your business will consume it. Step 2, build your business around energy, not just time. Not all hours are equal. Research in performance psychology shows that most people have peak cognitive energy for only 3 to 5 hours per day. That's your prime time. Use it for your most important work, strategy, decision making, creative thinking. Then use your lower energy periods for admin, emails, or routine tasks. This allows you to be more effective in less time, freeing up space for personal responsibilities without sacrificing output. I often implement this strategy and it really works well. Sometimes just doing basic admin gives my mind a nice little break. Step 3, create systems of support, personally and professionally. This is where many entrepreneurs struggle because they feel like they should handle everything. But balance is never achieved alone. Balance is never achieved alone. In your business, this might mean hiring, outsourcing, or automating in your personal life. It could mean involving family or close friends in caregiving, hiring help if possible, or simply communicating more clearly with family about your capacity. The goal isn't independence, it's sustainability, because the truth is trying to do everything yourself is not a signal of strength, it's a fast track to burnout. And here's the final perspective I want to leave you with. Balance is not a destination, it's a continuous adjustment. Some weeks your business will need more of you, other weeks your family will. The key is awareness and the willingness to recalibrate without guilt. Because at the end of the day, your business is a part of your life. It's not your whole life, and the entrepreneurs who truly succeed long term aren't the ones who sacrifice everything for growth. They're the ones who build businesses that support the life they actually want to live. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. You don't need to choose between success and presence. But you do need to design for both, intentionally, consistently, and with clarity. And those 3 actions, defining non-negotiables, aligning your work with your energy, and building systems of support, are where that design begins. So remember, always design your profits first and your spend second. Comment below and let me know what action steps are you going to implement. Like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.